Hey guys, it's me again. Uh, and yeah, I saw Dragon Ball Super Broly, and I'm gonna try to contain myself and give my thoughts as to what I thought of the film, just my impressions. Because I remember I looked back at a lot of my older videos, and I remembered that I used to give my impressions on um, something new coming out, such as when Resurrection F came to theaters and I watched that, or when I heard about Dragon Ball Super. Like I I spent like an hour and a half talking to my friends after the movie, after we just got done seeing the movie. Still, we could not fathom what we just saw. So yeah, I'll try to contain myself and give just a short few minutes review. um, so what I think of it, I'm pretty sure you guys can tell I was excited. It was awesome. I'm gonna say it just out of the gate, 10 out of 10 movie, 10 out of 10. It just immediately straight there, no question, no question. Just a really fun, great movie. By far the most beautiful Dragon Ball film, Dragon Ball product, period. Anything, most beautiful Dragon Ball, anything. The most beautiful Dragon Ball has been, period, period. I don't think there's really a discussion. It was by far the most beautiful Dragon Ball film, Dragon Ball animation. Period. It was incredible, and I mean every single second of the film. Um. So yeah, this is gonna have spoilers because I cannot talk about a movie that I just saw and not talk about it. That doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. So yeah, I'm not going to review the plot of the film because you could watch a bunch of other reviews for that. We all know the plot of the film because actually, this movie has a lot of plot, but at the same time, it doesn't. So I guess what I mean to say is it has a lot of background that leads to one singular event, similar to, well, not similar, but also kind of similar to Resurrection F. Resurrection F didn't really have a story; it had background events that led to one event. And Dragon Ball Super Broly is kind of the same way, where it's like a bunch of things that happened in the background or happened in the past have led to this one battle, this one particular event. And I think that was fine. I mean, technically, Battle of Gods is kind of the same thing too, really. But yeah, of course, we all know this takes the original Broly, and mind you, I was never a fan of the original Broly, and puts his character up here. I enjoy him. He's a very enjoyable character. Uh, he's a relatable character. He's a non-villain character. He's not a villain. The real villain of the film actually is Frieza, and then maybe a sub-villain was probably Paragus. But even then, towards the beginning of the film, you could kind of sympathize with him a little bit until towards the end when he's just not a nice guy at all. But yeah, I mean, basic summary of the film is they basically cover the story of Dragon Ball Minus, if anybody's read that, and kind of make it better because Dragon Ball Minus is kind of like one of the worst things Toriyama ever came up with, but they made it better. Um, so that covers, I think, maybe the first, I'd say to be generous, first 15 minutes of the film. And it's great because we get to see Bardock and we get to see an animated version of Goku's mom Gine for the first time ever. And it's always good to see Bardock. I mean, Bardock's one of my favorite characters. Um, yeah, and it was just beautiful. Just beautiful. So yeah, in terms of story, that's the first thing that's covered. And then the second thing that's covered is kind of the narrative behind Broly, what he's doing right now. And then Frieza, scheming in order to come to Earth to get the Dragon Balls to become taller. Yeah, and then Paragus joins with Frieza because they kind of have a common enemy, and they're like, okay, let's go to Earth. Yeah, big fight from there, from that moment forward. But I'm not going to talk about the story too much because either you've seen the film and you just want to see other people's opinions, or you want to join the hype, or yeah, most likely if you're watching this video. So, in terms of my personal opinion, oh my goodness, I had to think about this very hard because I was discussing with my friends like for a while because we just couldn't fathom it. This this movie gave me the feeling that episode Dragon Ball Super episode 130 gave me. And you know, everybody knows Dragon Ball Super episode 130 was Master Ultra Instinct versus Jiren Full Power, and my jaw was dropped most of the film. I was thirsty after the movie because my mouth was open the whole time. I just could not believe, not even just the action scenes, but just how beautiful the animation looked, how crisp and how almost perfect everything seemed to flow in terms of the lines, just the characters, their portrayal, the animation, the tone, everything was beautiful. I love how the beginning of the film is contrasted by this dark history of Frieza in the Saiyans, and there's there's various usages of colors, which is it really adds to the scene. And then we go from that to 41 years later, and we've got these bright colors, Bulma with this like bikini on, and like Vegeta and Goku training outside, and Beerus is being a babysitter. I think that was one of the most adorable things Dragon Ball's ever done. Beerus totally was Piccolo in this movie. Yeah, there's a lot of great small touches. I'm not even talking about the fights yet. But of course, the movie is a big brawl. It's a big fight. Mostly Goku and Vegeta versus Broly. And honestly, I don't really have a problem with that. I mean, some people complain that there's no Gohan. Boo-hoo. Okay, he had his moment. He had his moment in Turn Power, and he's been a character since first episode of Z, okay? It's not in his character to be a warrior. But anyways, another thing I noticed, well, my personal feeling, every time I looked specifically at Final Form Frieza, or maybe even Goku or Vegeta, I'm like, man, this looks like Z. Like, I wouldn't, like, I'm kind of, if it wasn't for the super characters and the super timeline, I would call it a Dragon Ball Z movie because it just looks like Dragon Ball Z. It looks like they really just took a time machine in terms of animation. It just looks like Z. Shintani did a very good job with this animation. Just that's the best thing about the film, to be honest with you, other than the fights, and just how enjoyable it is. One thing I noticed, and other people kind of agreed on, is that it felt like it didn't feel long. It didn't feel like an hour and 30 minutes, but I noticed, I'm like, every single scene is extremely fast. Everything plays out very fast in comparison to other movies, and especially the fights. Like, I'm definitely going to have to go back and watch it again or a couple times, because there's a couple things I was able to catch on because I sat close and I tried my best to watch, for every little detail. But of course, there's going to be things that you miss. But man, I don't even have to talk about the fights. The fights were just otherworldly. Oh my goodness. Like, if you thought Goku versus Jiren was incredible and crazy, this blows that out the water easily. It's just not even a question. It's another level. It's another level of fighting. And you would be surprised at a series that, surrounds itself around fighting that has been going on since the 80s. You would think they would have run out of ways to convey fighting, and it just is like, wow, they found another way. They found another level. It's incredible. So me personally, my favorite thing about the film was the animation. And then my favorite scene, I have to think about this very, very hard because there's so many good scenes, of course. There's the funny scenes. The funniest scene by far was when the man Vegeta, when Goku asked Vegeta to fuse, and Vegeta does this really weird pose for at least 5 seconds, at least, because it was, I was sitting there dying because it was hilarious. I just couldn't believe that pose, and just Vegeta. It's funny how they're making him so much funnier nowadays. But yeah, and my favorite scene, I had to think about this hard, man, because like I said, when the fight starts, it doesn't end. It's a big fight fest. My favorite particular part was probably Super Saiyan God Goku versus Broly. That little segment I enjoyed, not only because Goku was, saying interesting things and displaying interesting techniques and moves, but also just when Broly got the upper hand on him, it was incredible. Sean Schemmel's voice acting was on another level. The guy never seems to let up. He just improves and improves and improves. and his scream, he just sounded like he was really dying, and it just looked incredible. So yeah, that's probably my favorite part. Kind of biased because not only is Goku my favorite character, but Super Saiyan God is my second favorite form. Of course, Gogeta. The Gogeta scenes were incredible. The CGI has definitely improved since Resurrection F. Not even a question. What they did in the scene transitions from different stages was absolutely just mind blowing. It just, I'm trying to contain myself, and this is coming off of seeing the film, what, 4 hours ago? More than 4 hours, and I still can't believe it. But yes, I could go on and on about this movie. But please, please go watch Dragon Ball Super Broly. It's an hour and 30 minutes. It's going to be out for a few days. And if you're watching this movie, this review, maybe months or weeks after, please pick up the Blu-ray. Support the series. Don't torrent it. Don't watch it on YouTube. That's doing yourself a disservice. Please. Yeah, like I said, 10 out of 10. And I can't wait till hopefully they have an extended version similar to Battle of Gods or just the Blu-ray version. I just can't wait to have the film in my hand. Please. Hopefully less than 4 months. Please. But yes, tell me what you guys thought. What was your experience? I know this is kind of rambling, but this is coming fresh off of watching the film. So yeah, tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. Peace.